Hey guys, I made a story called Angie's Choice, and the summary is join Angie on another adventure of romance and family. The artist is Alina Chu, and the message is family and romance, emphasis from age 8 to 12. One day in the castle, Angie was drawn. I hope there's no more chores for me. Sometimes I wish I did not marry Harold. Angie told her sorry. Harold came with a bag of letters and said, "Help me deliver this. We have a lot of mail to deliver." But mail people have time off, and the one who's not having time off is sick. Angie rolled her eyes. "Well, this is my time off, and my relaxing time from you. No offense," Angie said. Harold grabbed Angie's hand and said, "Too bad, just get this over with and it'll be your last chore for the day," Harold yelled. "Well, you don't have to be so bratty and mean about it," she said. "Fine, have your way. I can do it myself without you," Harold yelled. In the castle, Angie was getting dressed for the ball tonight. "I hope he does not treat me like this way he did outside," Angie thought. Harold came in and said, "Okay, tonight is my ball and I need you to be extra good." "Me? Well, this is my first ball, so you should be good." Harold rolled his eyes and said, "Do not be stupid, girl. This is the first ball I planned." "Did you get the message? We are king and queen," Harold snarled. "Harold, only if you could see, it would be all right as long as you believe it will. Sometimes I think you ever believe in yourself," Angie said. Harold was furious. "You know, Angie, I can have a good ball without you," Harold said. Angie began to cry. Angie looked at the photo of her dad and she got 2 pieces of paper and wrote a letter to Harold and her parents. "Dear family, I cannot live in the castle anymore. I may come back in a few days and get divorced, but Harold needs a lesson. Love, Angie. Dear Harold, I am not sure if we are a perfect couple. I think we should break up. I am gonna run away and never come back. First you loved me, but now you don't. You only saved my life just so you can marry me. Love, Angie." Angie did run away, far away. She knew Harold would not care. She traveled back home and saw her parents out the door, staring sadly into the garden. Her mother began to cry and said, "I miss her." Her husband nodded. They heard her voice, Angie's voice. Angie handed the letter to her family. Her father read it. Her mother hugged her super tight. Then they heard a horse and a man saying, "Princess Angie." They looked at the man, and then Angie said, "Hello, sir. What would you like?" The man snarled and said, Harold got your letter, and the law says that you could not get divorced in 30 years, he said. And she shook her head and said, "Who made the law? I never heard of a silly law like that." The general knew Angie was a troublemaker. Well, Harold did, and if you break the law, you're going to jail and getting killed," he said. You cannot do this," Mother cried. Angie ran away. The general kept on shooting arrows at her. Angie hid under a rock. Meanwhile, at the castle, Harold threw a tantrum. "This was my time to show her how much I love her, but I blew it," he said in the mirror. The general came back and said, "She is hiding under a rock and won't come out." Harold began to sob. "I'm just a big phony. I love her. After I write this message, can you give it her?" The general nodded. "Dear Angie, I am so sorry. I love you a lot. Please be my sweet princess and trust me. We will have kids and a good wife. Please, I would expect you guardedly with kindness. Love, Harold. Harold picked up the letter and said, "Show me where she is." But Gemma followed the footsteps he took back and forth and finally found Angie. Angie was sleeping. Harold put a message in her hands and Angie woke up and she read it. She saw Harold standing sadly. She grabbed him and kissed him on the lips. "Let's have a wedding ball," she whispered. So Angie and Harold got married again and everything fine in the castle. Angie had 4 kids. 2 were girl twins, 2 were boy twins, 2 were boys, and they were not twins. So the message here was Angie's choice was to break up with him. She thought that Harold did not love her because Harold wasn't treating her well. He was just showing that she needed to work harder, but he also loved her deep down. After he read Angie's message and he looked in the mirror and called himself a big phony and began to sob. He knew he did the wrong thing.